Hi, so I'm Callum, this is my stepmother Amy, and my dad Mark.
Hello! And a rabbit! Hello! Also has a question. I don't have a question, I'm just letting the blood... Never mind.
Okay. So, anyway, we just watched the big 7-part Dalek adventure with our first encounter with the Daleks. So, what'd you guys think of their first appearance?
Bunny likes... I thought it was awesome.
I approve.
Yeah, so, a lot of people say that this story could have gotten a lot better if part 6 and maybe even part 5 wasn't there, because that was pretty much just like them trying to get their way to the city. Like, that was pretty much literally part 6. Just like the Doctor and Susan get captured by the Daleks, and then other than that, it's just Ian and the Thals getting further and closer to the city.
A little too long, in other words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I'd agree with that.
I mean, like, of course, like, in the original airing, it wasn't meant to be watched all together. Like,
Right.
It would be airing every Saturday, so
Sure.
by the time of the next weekend, then it would have all been forgotten, any slowness of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so speaking of the Thals, what did you think of them?
I thought it was very much like the original, like, you know, the Time Machine movie, or the Time Machine book,
Yeah.
you know, like the Morlocks type things versus
Yeah.
the Eloi, and I thought they're all blonde, they're all
Yeah.
good looking, they're all in shape.
Got their life vests on.
They all got life jackets on. River guide people or something. Yeah. Yeah. Thought they'd be less scared of the water than they were. They
Under the
have
circumstances.
life jackets on.
Yeah.
And the girl's outfit was kind of interesting. Like,
Yeah. A little out of place almost. But yeah.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, well, it didn't make sense. Their outfits that really, you know, they think they'd be living, but they're not in skins of animals. You didn't see any mammals in the show, so presumably they're just humans and maybe some swamp beast and maybe some Daleks. Go.
I was a little annoyed with them at the beginning. I get the whole pacifist, attitude and persona, and that's, very admirable, but then I think it just kind of got a little out of control after a while. And then they abandoned it so quickly, right? Which was kind of ironic, right? And they were like, we must kill the Daleks!
They're
yeah,
not very good at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so part 1 was pretty much all, like, mystery. Like, pretty much a summary of that is, like, they go outside and they don't know that there's radiation there, and everything's made of stone, and then they find the drugs even though they don't know that they are drugs, and then the Doctor sabotages the TARDIS and tricks them all into going down to the city just because he wants to explore it, and then finally that episode ends with Barbara just backing towards a wall, and all that we see is a giant plunger thing going for Barbara. So
I will suction your face.
Yes.
yeah.
Or spin my paint roller at you. Sorry. Kind of looks like
I think it's that when part 1 was being filmed, they didn't actually have the whole Dalek thing. All that they literally had was just a loose plunger. If they had the complete Dalek, then it may have ended with us actually seeing the Dalek just merging towards Barbara. Yeah. But since all that they had was the plunger, they pretty much just like filmed Barbara and had the plunger thing and just waving around up to him.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not as threatening as they seem, right? Yeah.
So, part 1, this was actually a redo. I think I can't quite remember why, but the original part 1 that was filmed, I think that there was something wrong with it. Like, when they played it back, they found out that, like, all the back studio was being heard, like, cut and action and stuff. And then they couldn't really they couldn't really put onto television because then they'd be hearing all the backup saying push the
Why
camera.
don't you just
whatever.
do voiceovers and have the people try to match up their voices to the tape? That's what,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
what most stuff did back then anyway.
So they just had to film the whole thing. At the
That's
very beginning of part 2, where they're just remaking the very end of part 1, then Barbara just backs towards, and they just see the plunger just coming towards her. That's actually the only footage that we have of that
The original
part 1.
Interesting.
If you listen really closely, you'll be able to hear a man say "cut" just before it goes black.
Interesting. Didn't notice that. I was caught up in the movie. Yeah.
Is plunger the technical name for the Daleks piece?
Looks like a plunger.
Well, it does.
Plunger
I'm
works.
just wondering
Well,
if
it
there's
is
a
a
technical
plunger.
term.
Some kind of probe.
Well, I'm not sure if it actually has a name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's gotta have. They must have some stats and blueprints of these things now. No, and like a lot of people don't like the pictures of the Daleks. We haven't asked too much about the Daleks, but in terms of them being not so scary because they just have plungers. 1964, right? It's like most of the actual monsters that they have, they all don't look all that menacing now. But what it was back then, I'm sure it was quite menacing. There's a Dyson vacuum cleaner coming at us. It's like, that would have been...
In a documentary that I once saw, a man described the Daleks as upside-down garbage cans with plungers in front.
Yeah. And looking at a pair of Nike shoes with they're cooler than any of the toys I had as a kid. The technology that goes into stuff these days, comparatively to what it was back in the 60s, is like, wow. Like that, some of the boxes, stuff that comes in, some of the packaging is cooler than the toys I had as a kid. So, yeah. Their Daleks are still pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what would we rate this?
Yeah, what would you guys rate it out of 10?
I liked it. Because it plays off on the Dalek Eloi type, Dalek, Morlock, Eloi, Thal people type thing.
Wait, don't say it.
Like the whole thing? Or
Get you the entire thing, right?
the whole thing?
Like
Okay, let's
if
all
you
show
wrap
at the same time. Fingers up.
I
Okay,
have
ready?
a disadvantage here.
Okay. We'll count that as 5.
5, okay.
Okay, this is 5.
Okay, hang
Okay,
on,
ready?
Wait. I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
On the count of 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I want 7.
Yeah, I got 7.
7, 6, and 7.
Hang on.
That also works. Bunny ears also work.
Yeah, it was 7.
okay.
It was good. It was there's the funny Thal guys were like Shakespearean theater guys. A lot of overacting. It's like
Yeah.
And for the time, and it's still watchable. Still watchable.
Loving the cliffhanger at the end. Can't wait to start the next.
Waiting.
So yeah, we ended with a big explosion and everyone is knocked unconscious. So after this big 7-parter...
No spoil.
I don't even know what happens next.
Spoilers.
No spoiler for us.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
So after this 7-parter, we're just going to have this nice little short 2-parter.
Suppose he is.
Put the helmet back on.
The cone of silence.
We'll see you guys next time where they watch the mini 2-parter where they find the edge of destruction.
I don't have a question. It's